Mwah! I love my planties. Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we are talking about prep steps, how to prep your summer flower garden. Now for me, living in Arizona, I don't have the kind of soil that can sustain a garden real well. My yard has rock on it. So for me, my garden of flowers hangs from the trees. I have a beautiful big pine tree in my front yard, and I love to hang flowering baskets from that pine tree. Now for me, to prep my summer garden means to take any plants that I had wintered over, guys like this. This is some kale that I had put in the spring, and this white stuff over here is some planting that I put in last fall. And I'm going to take out some of the things that are less pretty, because you can see this is kind of wonky looking, right? It's like a mustache. And I'm going to put in some beautiful flowers. So prepping your garden means taking anything that looks a little bit slipshod, has big holes in it, and putting in new items. Of course, if you don't have a start, then you pick up your pot and you prep with your soil and you get all your tools. So today I have my spade to help make this easier. I have my beautiful gloves. I have newspaper down on the floor. I'm doing this inside because it's like 105 today. And I also have my trash bag for the old plantings that I'm going to pull out. Finally, well, not finally, I have a little pad for under my knees. If you're doing this outside, it's a good idea to have a squishy pad to sit on. And then, of course, beverage. Dang, that is good. Okay, always a good idea to do something tasty when you're doing your plants. Okay, so to prep your little garden, you're going to start by taking out your little pretties. So I bought this guy at the store. Isn't he much prettier than my little mustache plant here? And I got this pretty little pink guy at the store. So I picked those up today. Now I have all the pieces prepped and ready to go. So to put together your garden, the first thing you do is take out of your pot, and I'm using a hanging pot, but you can use any kind of pot, anybody that looks a little weird. So I'm going to take out these guys. I love them and I thank them for being in my life this spring, but I'm ready to move on. So nothing worse than pulling up a plant and feeling like it's saying, don't. I don't want to be a murderer, but I'm kind of done with the kale. Okay, so love you, best wishes. And I'm putting them in my little bag here. This is going to be kind of messy, so thus the newspaper. And I'm going to pull out a second one. Big old hunks of dirt coming with it like that. I'm going to put him in here too. Now if you have another garden or another flower bed, you can just transplant. Of course I could put those elsewhere, but for me that's going to be the end of these guys. So they're going to be over here in the bag. Now I have a bunch of extra soil in here now, so I'm just going to take that out by emptying one of my flowers. You pull the cup up from off him. He's going to stand on his own a minute. He's going to be strong and brave. And I'm going to take the old dirt that's filling the hole where he's going to go, and I'm just going to pack him in here. And then I'll use that for fill in a minute, right? Prepping up my flower garden. Okay, so now we're going to put in our pretty little guy. So one of these guys is I'm just going to dig the hole a little deeper. So I don't know about you, but I love to change up my flowers every season, right? So I have certain ones in the spring, certain other flowers in the fall. I think most of us do that. I don't deal well with the little 6-packs anymore. I feel like it's a waste of my time to sit there donking around with little tinies. I buy these size ones because I can plunk him in for $4. He's in there and he's gonna fill up my pot nicely with 3 these size instead of like 6 or 10 of the little ones. And often I find they don't last very well. For some reason, I think this size maybe has a little more roots around them. Anyway, that's my theory. Not a horticulturist. Not a horticulturist. Okay, so I'm making room for my second little guy here. All right, pretty. So this little pink one's gonna go in the front. So prepping your garden means that you get all your little goodies together, you get your soil, you get your flowers, you get everybody in line, tell them all what they're going to be doing. You're going to make my garden so pretty. It's going to be so pretty. Get them in there, and now I'm going to fill in the holes, right? So all those places that I emptied out, anything not full of my new plants, I'm going to fill up now with dirt. Oh, it's time for a drink. I can feel it. I can feel it. Grooving on the icy drink. Make it whatever kind you like. Okay, so here we go. A little more dirt. You know, prep steps are about helping you remember that not everything is a giant task. It's about breaking things down into little small tasks so that you don't feel overwhelmed by the amount of work to do any one thing. Prep steps may include things like setting out your to-do list the night before so that part of your new day isn't to have to write your list. Prep steps also include things like this, where you get all your items together and ready, and then you're able to just sit down and joyfully put together your pretty little flower pot. Now remember that crazy looking flower pot we had earlier? We got something really pretty now. Check this girl out. So nice, right? And that was just 2 little pots for $4.99 each. Now this crazy looking white guy over here, I'm going to trim him down a little so he's a little more vertical. And if I wanted something even cooler, I would put a little trailing ivy hanging down. I hope you enjoyed these prep steps, prepping your summer flower garden. I hope that you will subscribe to the channel, share with a friend, and I will look forward to seeing you next time. Whoa. I'm covered in dirt. How does this always happen? Ugh. Woo. I do not have the knees for that anymore.